Hi, everybody. So, this is part two of my Hershey video. The first one, just wanted to give you a little opportunity to get to know me a little bit better, a little bit about my background, and about my first grooming experience. And I wanted to segue into my first experience at Hershey, and then I wanted to make a separate video about Hershey 2019 because it was a very, very different experience than 2018. As I said in my previous video, which I hope that you watched, I hope that you liked it. Kind of putting myself out there, telling you a little bit of personal stuff about me, and hopefully helping you to get to know me a little bit better. I know the other videos that I've made have been more like informative, but I want to try and get a little bit more personal. And so the first thing that you should know is I'm a crier, okay? I cry over, I don't know, the littlest things. And I always have, you know, people say I'm dramatic, but I think that I'm passionate, if that makes any sense. I don't know. It's just who I am. So happy things, I feel things very deeply. I love very strongly. Sometimes it's too much for people to handle, but it's who I am. And I'm sure that someday I will find the person who is strong enough to handle my love. And I have a passion and a love for grooming. And so I take it very seriously, just like I took teaching very seriously. I think it's an honor and a privilege to be a groomer. I thought it was an honor and a privilege to be a teacher. And so I kind of feel like I am being a teacher all over again, but just in the world of grooming. Even though I'm new, even though I've, not gone to grooming school, I have taught myself and I've worked really hard to get where I am. So I hope that anything and everything that I say to you helps. That means a lot to me. So if I cry in this, I'm going to preempt this video by saying I'm so sorry. But that's me and get used to it. Right, so 2018 Hershey versus Hershey 2019, completely different. Partially because I had been to the first, in 2018, not the first one, but 2018. And so I was a little bit more prepared, at least for the layout, okay? My first experience at Hershey was terrifying. And I brought Ruby, and she barked, God forbid. And, so I feel like that was, Blake Hernandez has that shave heard around the world when he shaved his poodle in competition at Hershey. I don't even know what year it was. It might have even been 2018, but I wouldn't have known because I ran out of there so damn fast. I just didn't get it. But that was the bark heard around the world, maybe. Because God, that whole room stopped, stared at me, and I just felt like I can't even explain that feeling. It's horrifying. All right, so I got to go with somebody I liked. What's weird about social media, and I don't know if this is true for everybody, but at least on Instagram is, it's there's a circle forming, I guess you could say. Newer groomers, younger groomers. I'm old, but I'm new. Older, not bad for 49. My Grammy lived to 102, so I have good genes. We'll see if I make it that long. I'll be blessed. But this circle that's being created, it's been sparked by social media. And the thing I can't wrap my head around is the fact that I've become a part of it. I don't know how the hell that happened. I really don't. I would have never expected to find myself in this place in my life, but man, am I happy I'm here. I really am, because there's some crazy things happening in my life, some wonderful things happening in my life. And Hershey um, was like mind blowing this year for a number of reasons. So, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the friendships. And I may cry. So, yeah, the way I grew up was not great. I know that, that's a story so many of us have, but, it's my life, it's my story. So, for me, I have very few friends. I would say I have one friend I've known since I was like 13. We don't talk very much. We're in different life paths. We've been through a lot together. It damaged us a little. Um, we, I love her. Her mom pretty much raised me. And then, sorry. Then I met my friend Holly um, about 8 years ago. And she was the very first, and is still the very first person who has ever just flat out 100% loved me no matter what. That girl shows up every time. We are brutally honest with each other. Here I go. I'll stop crying now. We are brutally honest with each other. We can say whatever we feel. Nobody gets butt hurt. If she thinks I'm being a shitty mom or a shitty person, she can tell me, and vice versa. And it is such a refreshing, open, honest, loyal, unconditional love. And I'm so blessed to have her, Holly. I fucking love you so much. Oh, we did the red string of fate or red string of destiny tattoos before Hershey. Mine is still healing because I think because my skin is a little older, but she's an artist and she has a tattoo gun, so she did it, and we have matching ones because I think there's lots of different types of soulmates, and I know she's one of them. No matter what, I know I have her. And now it's so weird to have gotten to know Janine first, through social media. And Melanie, I knew before I knew Janine through Instagram. And that was all kind of surreal. Like, Melanie kind of dropped off a little bit on social media for a little while, and so she was doing her thing, and we would have been texting, off of Instagram and stuff. And then Janine and I, we just kind of came together, and so when we got to Hershey, we decided to room together, to go to the expo together, and she was really happy about that because she didn't want to go alone, and I most certainly didn't want to go alone after last year. So, excuse me. It was really good to know that I was going to have somebody with me, because I was still kind of terrified because, how you never really feel that you're kind of good enough, or, you're always improving. Like, I know how much I've improved, but, and I knew that, like, my social media was climbing, but I didn't recognize, like, how many people were watching, I guess you could say. But anyway, meeting Janine was comfortable instantly. Um, and Melanie and Janine had gotten there separately, didn't even know each other. Um, I was running late. I told Melanie to go find Janine, and they ended up going out to dinner. And so, you know, the trio was born. We have a friend also, Luana, and she hung in there with us like crazy, and it was great. And we had a great time. But like I said, meeting Janine was just like, hey, girl, saw you yesterday, you know? So that's really strange how that connection is made. But it was awesome because we're different, but we are on a really similar wavelength. Um, so I know Janine tonight posted, you know, a video about the creative grooming seminar that we took, and I'm going to be doing one too. But Janine is was a licensed cosmetologist, and she's a cosmetologist. She just let her license run out because now she's a groomer. But that girl knows shit like that I don't even know about color and things like that. So I learn from her all the time. And my take on creative grooming is going to be from first the fact that I own my own salon, and I've been trying to bring it in slowly but surely, and it's growing like crazy in my shop. And when I went to Hershey and took the creative grooming class, which I'm going to make another video about, my take became I wanted to learn how um, to do more extensive grooms instead of just like blow penning ears and tails. I wanted to learn about the dyes. I wanted to learn about sculpting and hair and product and all of that stuff, and safety and everything that goes into it. And I want to do it. I want to do it, and I want to compete. Like Angela Kumpe and Lori Craig and Adrian Pope freaking sucked me right in. That was it. You guys all know, I hope, when you follow my Instagram and my Facebook page, that for all of my regular clients, I write biographies for them. I give them jobs and lives. And every time they come in, I update it and give them another little adventure, and they all tell me a little secret in confidence, which I spill in their post. But that's the writer in me. That's the English teacher in me. I found a way to make Instagram fulfill me in that way. I write, I get to be creative in that way. But doing color and grooming, like the thing that surprises me about grooming is that I can actually do it. I don't know how I do it. I don't know how I did it. I know I watched videos. I know, Gabriel Fiatosa sent me scissoring videos. Caio Ribeiro sent me scissoring videos. These guys are freaking awesome. They're stellar, award-winning international groomers. They sent me videos to help me learn, and I've been home practicing and practicing and practicing, and I thought I was getting somewhere, saved up money, going to Hershey, and going to buy me some, top-of-the-line shears, because I think that in order to be the best, you have to have the best, and I've learned that that's true in grooming. So going into Hershey, like, I had a list. Sorry if I've jumped a little bit. I'll get back there. I had a list of things I wanted to buy, and a lot that I wanted to learn. So I felt kind of torn when I was there because the schedule is crazy. Like, freaking Thursday we woke up and it was boom, seminar all day. We didn't really have time to go spot to spot like I wanted to go. I didn't get some things I wanted to get because plans changed, things changed. We decided what we originally signed up for classes. We ended up going to the poodle seminar. I have a lot of poodles in my shop. I think I groom 6 poodles in my shop as clients. And I wanted to really up my poodle game because I feel that's one of my weak spots. I also wanted to learn about Shih Tzus, so we took an Olga class. Olga Zabelinskaya, I hope I'm saying that right. God, please help me if I'm not, because that woman, wait till you hear about that in a minute. So the poodle seminar was killer. Blake Hernandez, Macy Pisa, they broke it down in a way that I've never heard or seen in any demo. And if you guys were there, I was the one on the floor, in the middle of the aisle, recording, and Janine was sitting back a few and she was taking notes. That's how I learn best, is by being up and in. I need to see, I need to watch. And, I'm Italian, I don't know, I'm vocal or whatever, but, when something clicked for me, I was like, oh, and Macy was like, you need to go to all of my seminars. I have a teddy bear one on Sunday, because of my reactions, but after and having talked to them, and now, like knowing Blake, he said, it was nice to hear that reaction, because normally it's so quiet and you don't know if you're reaching anybody. And so your reactions let me know that I was reaching you and that I was teaching you. And so I felt better about being the chick on the floor making the noise. And when they said, you can come up and look, I got up and looked. I got in there. I didn't sit back, because that's just me and how I learn and what I need. And so, yeah, man, that was killer. God, watching them, hand scissor, I was just laser focused on everything in those seminars. I'm going to do my own take on creative, because I want to do creative competition. So I don't want to get into that too much. But the first seminar I took with Olga, for the emoji faces, like the tips that she gave, it was like, oh my God, like these people are genius, you guys, genius. And so the seminars were amazing, right? And Blake and Macy were so much fun together. Not scared to teach, they just put themselves right out there, not scared to be themselves. Wanted it to be interactive and engaging, and I jumped right in on that. I'll tell you that. That was definitely what I wanted. And I think because I had been grooming already for a year, I knew enough to know that I was improving, and I knew what I needed to learn. So Hershey for me this year was really different than last year, because I was focused on what I wanted to learn, what I needed to learn, and I'll be damned if I wasn't going to get it this year, because last year I let my fear get the better of me, and I have lived by this saying for a few years now. I heard it, on the other side of every fear is freedom. So I have been trying to put that into practice in my life, and literally and metaphorically, not literally, but metaphorically, step over everything that I'm afraid of, step out of my comfort zone. Because when you do that, you feel free. But just imagine being terrified to bungee jump, and then bungee jumping, or jumping out of an airplane, or going in a hot air balloon, or going to the top floor of a skyscraper if you have fear of heights. And then when you do it and you're okay after, the elation and the validation and the self-respect and the pride that comes with knowing that you've done that you've stepped outside of your comfort zone to become something better for yourself and nobody else. That shit's priceless. So that's why I was there. Really, really loved Olga's class. And that girl's funny. And, the very first dog she groomed was a Westie. So was mine. Her story and the way she began grooming was really similar to mine. I related to her immediately. Her sense of humor. At the end of her seminars, she asked questions and she was like throwing out prizes. And I won. I never win anything. But I won in the first seminar. I got this Modern Styles Around the World, and the DVD is about the Poodle Sweetheart style. And in here, oh my God, there's like there's a little bit about creative grooming. There's how to do a spiral style. Here's the Sweetheart Poodle cut. Can you see it? Yeah, and so much about, oh my God, from Starwood Arts of Dogs Grooming School in Thailand. Have you seen this stuff? Okay, yeah, well, you can still tell it's a dog, but it's so beautifully sculpted. Marble cuts on Schnauzer coats. How to do like the chevron design on drop coats. um, adding bling, got creative in here. This is awesome. I won this just by answering a question. No, actually, this one I won for being so excited about what she was teaching and asking questions. She actually said here, like, because of the way that I was asking questions and responding and interacting, she just gave it to me because I was like the happiest, or I can't remember what the word she used was. And I was like, oh my God, Olga, thank you. Because I've been following her for a while, and really wanted to learn from her. So I was honored to be there. And then, to hear her story and to be able to connect with her like that meant a lot too. And then, all right, I'll tell you, I'm going to finish telling you my Olga story. So I went there. I'd saved money, a lot of money, to go and buy some really amazing shears. So I know that Olga had come out with a new line, the Zolita shears. There were some shears from Utsumi that I really wanted to get. I had saved for, um, but I wanted to go to every booth and I wanted to try all the shears because I know that they're particular. Not everybody can. Not everybody likes Kenshi. Not everybody likes Utsumi. Not everybody likes Gaib. Your shears and what you find that fit you and work for you it's a very personal thing. So I went to all the booths. I stopped at Olga's first, and here's what happened. So here's my Olga story from Hershey, and this is how Hershey changed my life. To take a little piece, of the title of Janine's story. Um, this was, guys, if how Oprah talks about light bulb moments, this was one of my light bulb moments. And I'm not kidding you when I'm telling you that Olga changed my life as a groomer, as a person, because of two things. First off, I went up to look at her shears, and I'm a little fangirl in at the time, and starstruck, and not feeling good enough, right? And I didn't want to see, I didn't want her to see me holding her shears because I'm self-taught. And one of the things I had been working on, like literally coming home and practicing with the shears that I did have, based off of what I had tried to teach myself and what Gabriel and Kaio had shown me and what I'd seen in videos. I mean, God, you give me a scissoring video and I'm like, I'm watching. But I thought I was doing good. I thought I was ready, but I was still really unsure. And Olga's just right there. Happens to be a not busy time, and so she's telling me about the Zolita line, which is beautiful, by the way. And I'm getting ready to purchase some of her Asian fusion shears here shortly, but I broke the bank at Hershey, so I'm waiting. I'm saving now for that. But okay, so Janine's with me, and I pick up the shears, and she's like, "How do they feel?" And I'm like, I don't, I don't know. No, I'm not holding them in front of you because I'm self-taught." And she's like, "No, no, 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 no." And immediately this woman, this beautifully spirited, warm, funny woman that I admire like crazy, takes my hand, literally grabs my hand, and she takes shears and she puts them in my hand. Okay? So this is what happens. And I'm terrified. And Janine's like right next to me, and like I can feel her next to me, and she knew I was terrified. I didn't want her to see me holding them. So this is how I had been holding my shears for a long time until I knew that I needed my ring finger. But I was holding them and just using my whole hand, okay? Bottom and top. I didn't understand or know about this whole thumb thing and how you're only supposed to use the thumb. I mean, like I knew, and I thought I was doing okay. Like I would go along the table and try and practice, but this is what would happen. That bottom shear, which is attached here, right, is not supposed to, when you're grooming, that's the only one that you're supposed to use, right? So I didn't know that. I'm going around practicing, thinking I'm doing great, and this is what I'm doing, using my whole hand. She takes my hand, she cradles it, she puts the shears in my hand. I'm trying to show you this here because I need you to understand what she did for me. She stopped everything. Like, she stopped her sales. There's people backing up behind. There's people gathering to watch what's happening here, all right? And Janine's like in awe, and I'm in awe, and I'm like shaking. And, she holds me, and I'm doing this, and she's like, no, like a baby. What just happened here? Oh, like these fingers, you use like you're cradling a baby. And she's showing me not to move the bottom of my hand. She's holding my hand. She's like, now just move your thumb. Move your thumb only. And practice that. Practice that. She's like, yes, you see how that works. Okay? I'm like blown away. Because what happens is, after a few times, I feel it. I felt it in my thumb. And when I felt it in my thumb, I started to have the click, right? So she puts the shears back in my hand. She's like showing me, no, on your first finger, first knuckle, right? And she's like, hold that bottom still, only the thumb, only the thumb. And she's like, you need to practice. But I was bending my thumb. No, straight thumb, right? You don't have to have your thumb in that top handle, and you have to practice open, close, and you have to cradle, and then your shear has to go on that first knuckle, and then on your ring finger, not past your second knuckle, right? So she takes this time, I swear to you, like 15 minutes, okay? Like 15 minutes, this woman could have made probably thousands of dollars and selling shears, and she's not stopping. And she's reaching right over her table, and she's holding my hand, and she's like, she keeps correcting me and correcting me and correcting me. And all of a sudden, I get to this place where it happens. All right? And I get it. I understand. I get this fucking light bulb moment. And I felt it in my hand. And the fact that I could feel what I was supposed to be doing, I knew that it was just a matter of changing my muscle memory and going home and practicing all the time on everything and only moving that one shear. And now my challenge is to keep that still, right? So I have a lot to learn, and I'm practicing every single day. But when there was this moment that hit, it was everything. This woman, and I start bawling in the middle of the convention. Again, 2019, here's me crying in the middle of the convention, right? I had just met Jess Rona, right? Here's me meeting Jess Rona, thrilled. I'd gotten out of the creative seminar. We see Jess Rona. She's so nice and warm. She's like, hello, friend. I'm hanging out with her in the creative booth with Angela Kumpi and Alyssa from Toes and Bows. And, this is Angela Kumpi's booth, and she's there. And I'm like looking at her airbrush machine. Jess Rona's there. We take pictures, me and Janine. She's super cool. Jess and I end up buying the same airbrush machine. Angela's, it's like this hands-free one instead of like an airbrush gun. So much easier to use with markers and stuff. And when I do my creative grooming video, I'll show you that. It's fucking killer. Right, so I'm coming off of that and into Olga. And I know that Jess Rona really admires Olga, and I have been planning on taking classes with Olga because she's like the queen of structure. And I need that. And that's something that I had started to learn about in the poodle seminar with Blake and Macy. I got about the, flat on top, like this octagon thing with the poodle coat. And I was like, boom, Jesus, these people are brilliant. So Olga does this thing, right? And I get this scissoring thing, and it changes my life. She took 15 minutes of her time and affected my whole world in the best way possible. So that woman, for me, that's my person, like my grooming person. Olga, if you ever watch this, I cannot thank you enough for that 15 minutes of solid attention just for me, just to help me, little old me, nobody. Because you guys, the reason it was so important is because I had been trying so hard to learn about hand scissoring because I wanted to get better. I wanted to improve my grooms. I wanted to be able to bring them to the next level for my own fulfillment, for my clients, for so many reasons. So that, I know you can hand scissor a dog. Sue's Echo told me, yeah, I met and talked with her for like frickin' hour on Sunday. She told me she held the scissors incorrectly because they only spent a little bit of time of it in grooming school. And she held them incorrectly for 8 years until someone showed her the right way. And within 2 weeks, she said it was a game changer for her too. So, Olga, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I'm sorry if I pester you. I'm sorry, I'm not going anywhere. You're my person. And I'm coming for lessons, and I'm coming for that seminar. You better believe it. So I bought combs because I was still overwhelmed about the shear, and I ended up buying her combs, which are freaking amazing, by the way. Highly recommend. Really lightweight, but just unbelievable fluffing power. So I'm walking away from Olga, right? And we're going over to the Pet Store Direct booth to go see if Gabriel Fiatos is there. And we passed Jess Rona, and here's me. We had just met her, just taken pictures with her. She looks at us, me and Janine, she recognizes us, and here's me in tears. And I just look at her and went, Olga, like this. And she nodded. She got it. And just kept walking. And you guys, I was seen. You know what I mean? I wasn't just some person at a trade show. Olga didn't know me from anybody. I know a lot of people knew me, recognized me from my social media. May not have known my name because I was always going under Bow Wow's Dog Services, but I just changed that to Jilly Mooch Grooms because, one of the things I learned is that people knew Janine's name because her tag was Grooms by Janine. And I was just going as Bow Wow's Dog Services, so nobody knew my name was Jilly Moocheroni. And so everybody's always in my life called me, Jilly or Mooch when I was a teacher. The kids all called me Mama. So I was Mama Mooch, got married, and then it was a different last name, and then got divorced, back to Mama Mooch. And so everybody's always called me Mooch or Jilly Bean. And so at Hershey, I realized, these people know my face. They know my logo for Bow Wow's Dog Services, but they didn't know my name. So that's why I changed my Instagram handle, because I wanted my grooms to be associated with me as a person. And so now we have it's at Jilly Mooch Grooms. And so there's a tip for you guys on social media. Make sure that your name matches you and not your shop, because you want people to know you as a groomer more than you want them to know your shop in this industry. If you want to be in it deeper than just, not just, but if you want to be in it deeper than running your salon, if you want to compete, if you want to be sponsored, if you want to be a product representative, if you want to be engaged and involved in the companies involved, in this industry, then they have to know your name. And so yeah, that was big for me because everybody was recognizing Janine. Everybody, are you groomed by Janine? You're groomed by Janine. She wore her smock, and everybody recognized it. It was great because man, that kid kicks ass. I love her so much. I'm so proud of her. Todd from Barkley came up, recognized her, said he watched her videos. Jay Scruggs, um, the people at the wall booth only knew me because I had helped out with that dull blade. There was a big batch of blades that were made wrong for the wall bravura. And, Chris there, she was like, oh, are you one of the three? And I was like, yeah, it was me, Janine, and, another groomer who had brought attention to it. And a lot of groomers responded. So it was neat in that respect. So I learned something about social media in that respect from the way that Janine puts herself out there. And I want to put myself out there because I want to help people. I want to do great grooms. I want to improve. But one of my goals is that I think that there's a gap in the industry for newer groomers. Their perspective needs to be heard. I think that newer groomers can teach other groomers. We're not experts. We're all learning. The experts aren't even the experts because so much is growing and changing now that this industry is spinning right now in a direction that's never been seen before. And everybody told us that. And social media has a big part of it. Joshua Morales, Blake Hernandez, Macy, me, Janine, Melanie, Allison Brooks, so many other people are in, and Gabriel, and Jess, Rona, and I'm sorry, I can't think of everybody right now, but there's a shift going towards these people. I am blown away to even be a part of it. So Olga changes my life. I go all the booths and I find Utsumis, right? So I buy myself what I had heard is the best and it fits me like a glove and felt right. And I bought myself a pair of Utsumi Speedies and I saved for these babies. And this is like gold right here. And I'm practicing that cradle, Olga. I promise you, every night they come home with me. I take very good care of them. And so you guys highly recommend the Utsumi Speedies. Fucking game changer for finish work, okay? Then I bought, and I did, showed you my Hershey haul video, but I wanted you to see, part of this too. I got the super curves. So Gabriel Fiatosa brings me over to the Utsumi booth and is talking to them and helping me pick out shears. So these are the super curves. They're fucking awesome. And I'm asking, why are they so good? Gabriel's like, well, they cut all the way to the tip. You get curves and they don't cut all the way to the tip or almost. But these babies, every time, they will cut to the end of the shear. And man, you talk about efficiency, right? So that blade has to stay. This is what I do. I practice. In my story the other day, I practiced hand scissoring my son's 13-year-old hairy legs, right? And in the third frame, you can see that I finally get it, right? So at first, I'm moving both, right? And then it takes me, I have to think about what my hand is doing so I can train my brain to train my muscle, right? So hand scissoring, sorry, my legs are very hairy, but I guess that'll work. So hand scissoring, cradling, I got it in the knuckle, right? My thumb is straight, holding my shears the way they are comfortable, making that little baby cradle. My thumb is barely in there, you can see, right? And so now I focus on moving one blade only. You see what I mean? And this is another way I've been practicing, because if I cut myself, I'm fucked. And these are some of the sharpest shears in the world, right? So this is how, oh, see, I think I might have just cut myself. Like, I'm not shitting you. Maybe not, but only moving my thumb. Maintaining a steady, because you know, you're doing a top knot. You don't want to be like all over the place, both hands. You only want that thumb moving. So, yeah. See? And so I have to, there it is. Only one blade moving, the other stationary. Freaking Olga. Changed my life. Made me worthy of these beautifully handcrafted, beautiful shears. Yeah. So Olga, you're my goddess. Sorry about the lighting, it's late. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, but I really wanted to finish this video. So I found guide buttercuts. I got the black pearls. They have an offset handle. I got straights and chunkers, okay, which is just a wide tooth thinner. I wanted to show you these in a little more detail. The black pearls, okay, same thing. So this has an offset handle, and what that means is, let me find, yep, see that curve? So the way it fits your thumb is different. It was very comfortable for me once I got, and I got a long shaft. This is the shaft. One of the reps recognized that I had longer fingers and thought that the longer shaft of the straights would suit me, and it did. It felt much better. So now I have my straights, and I have my cradle. Again, I gotta freaking get that stability. I'm working on it, right? Only one blade moves. You should be able to read that black pearl as you're moving. Only one blade moves. And I'm skimming, I'm trying not even to touch my leg. I'm trying to keep the same distance all the way down, if that makes any sense. So you want to get better with your scissoring. See, I'm watching the video. You want to get better? Bring them home. Put them on your leg, right? So those are my straights. And then I got the black pearl chunkers. Right, look at that, holding them. And I was at the shop the other day and I found myself using the wrong finger. I'm like, fuck. So I'm learning still. So these are the black pearls. I think these are 42. I'm so blind, and it's really dark in here. How many teeth? I can't see you guys. I'm so sorry. All right, 41, I think. 21. 21. All right, so anyway, same thing with these babies. Bottom. Only the bottom moves. Right? I gotta be careful with these. Those were my big purchases. Those were my priority purchases. When I went there and I did it and I feel worthy of them, and my grooms since I got back, way better. So I get the shears, right? Take another of Olga's classes, because I'm obsessed with her now. And then I answer a question right at the end. DVD, Shih Tzu, right? Shih Tzu, 3 styles. Are you kidding me? Let me tell you something right now. The thing I cannot do, or have not been able to do, even though I have been following religiously Jess Rona's Shih Tzu tutorial. Oh! Shih Tzus and I struggle. They are my arch nemesis. So no more. And I can't wait to see how they improve. So then We did the creative grooming seminar. Again, like I said, I'm going to make another video about that. Mind blowing. Angela Kumpe, Lori Craig, and Adrienne Pope are the queens of creativity. These women are unbelievable. And I got so hooked, and I have been wanting a standard for so long, but I've been waiting because I wanted to make sure I was ready, and I've wanted to do creative. I took that class, hooked. Just like, yes, you speak to me, you are my people. And I am fortunate enough to have right now 2 clients who are willing to let me have creative freedom with their pups, and that is coming up soon, and I'm really excited. I've been reading all of these books that I got. Oh, I'll show you what else I got real quick, because we're talking about, you know, some of the things I went there to get on purpose, right? So I got Angela Kumpe's The Ultimate Guide to Salon Creative. This chick goes into everything from pricing to how to put on rubber beads, how to do like little nose rings, earrings, how about pet dye versus human dye. This woman has literally written the book on creative grooming, and I am just in awe of every single bit of it. All right. And I have decided that I am ready for a sassy, lovey, cuddly addition to our family, and I am searching for a standard. I also got this book by Angela, A Creative Collection, and I cannot wait to see how she does like spray ups and forming, you know, accessories with real and with, you know, fake hair, the mats, you know what I mean? It's step by step. It's telling me what to do, how to do it. And so once I was hooked on that, I knew that I had to stay to the end, because I wanted to see the creative competition, and I wanted to see the presentation, and I wanted to see the awards, which is something I denied myself in 2018, and I was not going to do it. Janine needed to go, because she needed to go. We'll talk about the goodbye in a minute. But I stayed to watch and record, and when I do my creative video, I'm going to add the videos and the pictures that I took for you who were not able to attend. I'm going to show you that. I got this by Sally. This is from Barkley, and this is like the some information about some covers, who has done what in creative grooming from Groomer to Groomer magazine. And, you know, of course, we've got, you know, there's Lori Dodge. They do these presentations along with the creativity. So what we've got here is, it tells you the groomer, what they did, the theme that they did, their presentation, if they made cover, right? So this came free. It was buy 2, get 1 free. And so I bought, was it buy 2, get 1 free, or buy 1, get 1 free? Yeah, so I got 2 books, and I got 2 free, and I gave 1 to Luana. I got some Groomer to Groomer magazines. I got some notes here from Olga. I got The Theory of 5 by Melissa Verplanks. Very excited about this. Simplifying Grooming, Body, Head, Ears, Feet, Tail. 5 that you can apply to almost all pet grooms. You know, listen, you can't just watch everything. Reading is everything. All right? More Groomer to Groomer magazines. And then my big purchase, which was an amazing price at the show. I'm very lucky to have it. The most recent edition of Notes from the Grooming Table. Okay? all of it, double bound, okay, and by Melissa Verplank again. And thank you so much to the Paragon School of Pet Grooming for your amazing booth and for bringing education. If you don't have notes from the grooming table, this is the Bible. And the Bible for creative is the Angela Kumpi book. Just to show you again, the ultimate guide to salon creative. So the ultimate guide to salon creative, if you're interested in color, in creativity, even just for some blow pens, you need to know about colors, safety, temperament of dogs that are not, ones that you would want to use it for, and notes of the grooming table, Bibles, grooming Bibles. Olga Prophet. Then I met Sue Zecco. So nice. Jay Scruggs, so nice. Jay Destrona, so nice. Gabriel Fiatosa, that man's heart is a cloud. Okay, can I just say that to you? Like out loud and really mean it? What a warm person. What a warm person. He's a hugger. That man can hug me all day long. All day long. Jeremy might not like it, but I'm telling you. Gabe is warm-hearted, kind, smart, brilliant, talented. God. And just like I knew him for years too. Met Erica from Groom Witch Baby. She kicks ass. She was at Pet Store Direct. Pet Store Direct rocks, all right? So they're the only ones right now who are carrying the Hydra aerosols. So they have them, and that's the only place you can get them. So if you want those Hydra aerosols that Janine and I and 10 other people, there was 12 total, were picked to be Hydra PRs for that product. If you want them, the only place that you can get them right now is at Pet Store Direct because they're having problems shipping the aerosols overseas. So listen, man, get on it. Those are freaking great products. And I'm not paid by them. They asked me, here's some, will you do a review? What else in terms of purpose? I went there for shears. I went there for color, got a lot of color. I will show you that in my color video. Learned a lot because I went there for the education. I am sad that I missed some Sue Zecco and Jay Scruggs, but I am fortunately close enough to Sturbridge, Massachusetts. I'm in Connecticut that I am going to the New England Grooming Show, and I am going to take those classes there. I am hooked on education. I am also going to the Foxify retreat with Blake Hernandez at the end of October. Janine is also going too. And that is an immersive hands-on experience. We get to stay there. Food, meals, lodging, everything is included in that price. All you need to do is bring yourself and whatever you would normally bring to a vacation. You don't even need to bring your shears. It's demonstration, but not hands-on. But I can tell you, you get to watch Blake Hernandez prep a dog, right? Get up at 6 in the morning and watch him prep those dogs, and I'm hoping he lets me help. I am there to absorb everything. I'm also getting ready to schedule some education with Olga. She has a retreat coming up also, and got some stuff hopefully in the works for some other groomers to go and learn from them. I'm going to go up to Manhattan and Kaio shadow him in his the salon where he works. And on a Tuesday, I can't wait for that because that man is the god of hand scissoring. How many people do you know? How many groomers do you know that can fully hand scissor like 20 dogs in a day? We're talking like standards, doodles, bouviers, like the Portuguese water dogs, all of them, hand scissor. Bichon's crazy, goes nuts all day long. That man is a god when it comes to scissoring, and I'm telling you, got to go learn. So here's my advice, the thing that I learned most importantly from Hershey 2019 in terms of education and tools. Know what you want when you go. Know what you want to learn. do an evaluation of yourself, right? Know what you want to learn, know what you need to buy, stay focused. Do not be afraid to ask for help. I was humbled by Olga reaching out to me, Olga taking that 15 minutes that changed my life. Personally, as reaching out, human to human, but also as a groomer. Sorry, it's 2:19 in the morning, so my voice is shot. I've been working all day to get caught up with social media. And so seminars were amazing. The awards dinner. Oh my God, let's just talk about that for a minute. Right? There's some shifting going on in the industry, old versus new. I don't know exactly what it is. There's politics everywhere you go. But, Blake Hernandez won several awards, and I loved when he just called it out. Milena Khan, new, won a couple of awards as well. And, proud and thankful. Sue Zecco won that, that overall, humanitarian award. Well-deserved, very humble woman. And it was like the Oscars, you guys, okay? Everybody was, not everybody, but most everybody was all dressed up. But it was a big show. It was a beautiful production. Barkley does not screw around. Like, I got to meet Todd from Barkley also, and he's so open and warm. It's not like you're talking to the president of the biggest, the president of the biggest trade shows grooming in the grooming industry. No, you're just talking to this dude named Todd, who's great. And I asked him, I'm interested in getting into creative competition. Who do I talk to? And he points over and he's like, oh, go talk to Jill. Segue in a second about that. I go talk to Jill and I'm like, hi, my name is Jilly. And do you happen to have any information on, rules and of competition and things like that? And so what she hand me? Probably not right here. Of course it isn't. She hands me a packet about what the guidelines are, what everybody's looking for when you're going into creative competition. And I don't have it in front of me. It's probably, it's in my bag over there. But I'll get into that too. Competition guidelines, restrictions, everything you need to know to go into creative grooming. Hands it to me. If you need anything, you let me know. Todd, you need anything, you let me know. Jay Scruggs, you need anything, you let me know. Sue Zecco, she wanted to join because we have the Groomers Support. Groomers Support is the page that Stephanie invited Janine and I to join with her to be admins for a safe, open, no bashing environment for groomers only, where you can ask questions, provide feedback, engage, share, learn in a very safe environment. And Sue Zecco asked to join while we were there. And I signed her up, you have to request, and I approved her. I think I had to give her approval. God. So everybody, all these people were really welcoming. And Angela, Kumpy and Lori Craig and Adrian, and we got to watch Well Groomed, that movie. Even if you are not into creative, you guys, if you're into competition, if you're into friendships, if you're into love and unconditional love in a world where you are competing professionally with your best friends, that movie is beautifully made. Got to see that. So overall, trade show, hit it. Was beautiful. And I can't say enough about that. Now going with Janine. I'm going to get into that for just a few minutes here. Cry and then say goodnight. I know, oh my God, I'm going on an hour. But it was a big deal. And I really wanted to tell you my Olga story. All right, so going with Janine. Didn't expect to bond with another person the way I did with her and Melanie. But, it's just crazy that it did. I'm older than them. I'm old enough to be their moms. Okay? It doesn't feel like that when we're together. There are moments, and we've talked about this and laughed about it, where I see that my age is and my experience could be of an advantage to them. And so I go mama bear. And I want them to know, just like my kids, just like every student I taught, I want to save you from experience that may hurt you, or I don't want you to waste a second on something I already know is not worth it. So, but when we're together, we're like Charlie's Angels. We're like the witches of Eastwick. We're walking around, a brunette, a blonde, Melanie, and Janine, like a redhead, walking around, the three of us. Felt great. And I can't explain how hard it was to say goodbye to those girls, but especially Janine. Being embraced the way we were by the industry greats, by the people who run the industry, the people who we admire. Being embraced that way, saying that, we got some amazing compliments. You guys are going to be in the center of this in 5 years. Joshua Morales says, we know who you are because you're on it. You're doing the social media thing. You are, I don't know why my computer seems to be slow. I don't know why, but maybe it's because it's tired of me talking. These people saying that we're doing the right thing and to keep going and that they can see our growth. Like, okay, ready? Delise Knight from Bardell Bowes. If I could aspire to be any woman on this planet, it would be her. She is the kindest, most generous, supportive, loving blessing this world has ever received. And she hugs your neck and she lets you know she loves you, and she'll be honest with you and give you advice and tell you what you're doing right and what you could improve on. And she goes out of her way to support me. I'm so freaking honored because she took one of my grooms and put it on her newsletter page that was released today. Whatever is September something. Now I don't even know what day it is right now. I'm looking. Hold on. So it was the 22nd, 8:30 on September 22nd. She sent out her newsletter, and the first thing you saw was one of my grooms. Why? Why me? Why me? But thank you. After this video, I'm going to post some pictures of before and afters, meaning the first grooms I've done on dogs, that have been in my salon that are still regular clients and have been since I started being a groomer. I'm going to show you how far I've come. And while I got smooth finishes, my challenge next is still finishing work, which has gotten way better since Hershey, and because I have better tools, and I got some better supplies like that Artero mint that I showed in my Hershey haul. I think is a game changer. Those wide tooth combs for the Andis Pulse CR that fit. They're not Andis blades, but you can get them at PetSport Direct. They're wide. They're awesome. But why this woman chose me out of all the groomers who are so much better, I don't know. But I'm so thankful. Meeting her. So there's like this family that happened. And I don't really have one of those. My family has been broken apart for a long time. And I used to move so much when I was a kid that my one oldest friend, Tabitha, you know, um, we've kind of gone our own ways. I know if I need her in a heartbeat, she'd probably be there. Holly, like I said, is my ride or die. I know she definitely would be there. But I love Tabby, and she's my family. But and my brother, he's awesome. But this is a different kind of family. We get each other. All those people there, I felt cradled. I felt supported. I felt encouraged. I felt guided, validated, worthy. I felt worthy to be there. And to go through all of that with Janine, whose heart and mind are on the same wavelength as mine. Because, Melanie and Lulu went off and did some things on their own, but Janine and I were pretty much together for like every second of the whole convention. Those girls and Janine, they're like part of the fabric of who I am now. And to be away from them, like, kind of hurts. I got so used to her getting on her phone and calling her dog lady lady, because she can see them, and saying goodbye to her was devastating. So that's what her video, how Hershey changed my life, the video, which you really need to go watch on her YouTube. She was in her car driving away on heading to Starbucks, and I was inside the expo crying in front of Sue's Echo because I couldn't walk Jeannie out. I just said, I have to say goodbye to you here, or I can't walk you out, or I won't go back in. And I want to stay for the competition. And I knew if I walked her out, I wouldn't go back in because I'd go to my car and drive home. And I wanted to stay for the rest of the creative competition, and I wanted to talk to Sue. So I walked up to Sue, tears, and I'm like, I'm sorry, because I'd been talking to her, and I'm like, I have to go say goodbye to my friend. I'll be right back. I come back in tears. She gives me a hug. But y'all, I have family now. I have a place. I have a passion. I have a drive. I have something to contribute. I may not be an expert. I may not be trained. I may not be certified. But I am a fucking dog groomer at heart. I love what I do. I can see it before I groom it. And I wouldn't change any of this for the world. And thank you for all of my followers. I get more and more. Thank you to all of the people in the industry. Delise, Bardell Bose, Angela Kumpe, Lori Craig, Adrian Pope, Gabriel Fiatosa, Jeremy Fiatosa, Jess Rona, Erica, I don't know your last names, baby, but Groom Witch Baby, Melanie, Lulu, Olga, Jay Scruggs, Chris from Wall, I believe it's Christy from Utsumi, I'm just trying to think. I don't want to forget anybody. Joshua Morales, Blake Hernandez, Macy Pisa. I said Olga, right? Jesu. And the people I met there that recognized me, thank you. I'm really overwhelmed and grateful. I cannot fucking wait for New England. I cannot wait for Blake's retreat. I cannot wait to make contact with Olga about going to her seminar. Can't wait to learn more from these wonderful people, from this wonderful, warm industry that has embraced all of us new groomers. Despite whatever underlying things are, we didn't feel it. I'll tell you that. It may have been there, but we didn't feel it. and that's important. So Todd from Barkley and everybody associated with it, thank you from the bottom of my heart for creating a place just for me, because that's what it felt like. I didn't feel like an outsider. I didn't feel like I had to run away. I felt like I was walking into a home. So thank you so much for that. All right, I think that's it for me. I'm sorry this ran an hour. Oh, the last thing, I'm going to end this on a funny note. And then I'm going to put some pictures after. So watch, you'll see my before and afters about how I've grown as a groomer. It's important for me for you to see how hard I'm working for you. I want to help you. If you have any comments or questions, please reach out to me at any time. My clients, whatever you need from me, your babies are my babies. I just want to say one very funny thing. I have never met more Jills in my entire life than I met at Hershey. I am not kidding you. I think I met probably 10 Jills. I think every Jill on the planet is a fucking dog groomer. I've never met another Jill. I can't think of one outside of grooming. I walked in there. I can't even name them all. And what I did notice is I was the only Jilly. So I'm kind of psyched about that. So, yeah, that's pretty crazy, right? Thank you again for blessing me with watching this. I hope you watched it all the way through. I hope it didn't bore you. Whatever you need, I'm here. And thank you for being there for me. Thank you for following me. I don't know who I'm talking to yet. I'm just getting to know some of my followers. But in order for me to get to know you, for those of you watching, please subscribe so that I know who the hell is looking at me, so I can gear my content to be relevant to you. And I won't know who you are unless you subscribe. And thank you for those of you who already have. Thank you for watching. And know that I appreciate you, my clients. I value your trust. I respect it. It's a privilege that you give me your pups to groom, and it's an honor. That's me. I'm going to say goodnight. Chili Mooch signing out. So much love. Good night.